Hi, welcome to KJ TV, and today we have we are going to discuss about a very important topic. Recently, uh, the High Court ruling in Kenya nullified the Building Bridges Initiative, which was started by President Uhuru and the retired Prime Minister Raila Odinga. Now, they cited many issues that it was illegal. They declared it illegal and unconstitutional, and therefore not supposed to be allowed to move forward. There has been a lot of anxiety among the people. More especially, we have the Tanga group and then the Kieleweke group. President Uhuru is at a dilemma. Was the judiciary trying to punish Uhuru Kenyatta because he had failed to appoint 41 judges to the Court of Appeal for the last 2 years? They were recommended and they were not appointed. Was the ruling a fight to revenge that? And then out of that, after the appointment of the new justice, Martha Koome, President Uhuru Kenyatta appointed 34 of the 40 judges he was supposed to appoint because one had died. And was it that he was trying to revenge in that? So on that issue, we are having a settlement in Kenya. Other people are agitating for him to appoint all of the judges. Now, we do have people to some political experts, which we have on the studio, and I will bring them back in. We have Jared Onyanja from Kenya, Kisii, Kenya. Hi, Jared. Hello.
Hello, Daktari.
Yes, welcome to the studio. Jared Onyanja is a KJ TV reporter from Kisii, Kenya. You are most welcome. And then we also have Amenya, who is Vice President Mwenyegetinge. Bwana Amenya, karibu.
Thank you so much, Daktari. Thank you for having
I think I'm getting you, however, it's breaking.
Hello? Okay. Jared, are you not getting us? Okay. Yeah, Amenya, welcome.
Thank you, Daktari. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much. The network is not very okay because you are talking as you are breaking.
Okay. But Amenya, let's finish with you. I think he has some network problem we have to solve. How are you, Mr. Amenya?
I'm fine. Thank you, Daktari. I'm doing well, and thank you for having us on the show.
Okay.
And thank you, Pewas, also for joining us at this time.
Okay. Now, as I was explaining, as we are trying to connect with other people, there is a stalemate in Kenya right now about BBI. It was nullified by the High Court. And now, Uhuru Kenyatta failed to appoint 41 judges for the last 2 years. Was the BBI, was the judges trying to revenge on that? And then he ended up appointing 4 judges out of the 40.
Okay.
So he rejected the 6. So was it a revenge from the president? So those are some of the issues we want to discuss. And for your take, what do you take of the first question? The first thing is that do you think the court was right of declaring BBI illegal, null and void?
Again, Doctor, thank you so much for once again for this opportunity to be on the KJ TV. And I thank you for bringing up this topic. I know most people have gone through it, have discussed in various ways. And again, this opportunity also to give us our input. I'm not a lawyer personally, but I tend to believe that the 5 bench judges went through these cases. You know, there were several cases which were combined to one case.
Okay.
I tend to believe that they were guided by the principles of law.
Okay.
That is their speciality. So I don't want to look like they are reventing to the president or the promoters of the BPI. So I'm purely looking at that they just followed the law, the constitution, and the constitutionality within the framework of this BPI. So I don't see any revenge from the side of the judges. So if you turn around away and ask about the president, somehow, you know, we are human beings. You can just think about that this was a revenge.
Okay.
But I don't want to go there. For now, my take is I purely believe judges were within the guidelines of the laws which they use in their judgments.
Okay, we are being joined from Kenya with Abaga Sagero. Hi, Bwana Abaga Sagero.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm fine.
We can't see you. It appears to be so dark on you. What's going on?
Oh yeah. Oh, you can't see me.
Oh yeah, I think now we can see you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So on the studio we have Amenya, whom you are familiar with. He's the Vice President Mwenyagitinge. And we were talking about the ruling of the 5 judges who declared the Building Bridges Initiative illegal, null, and void. What is your take on that?
First and foremost, Dr. Josh, let me take this opportunity to thank you for the show. This show, by the way, is very educative. It's something that I appreciate, particularly for everybody in every corner of this country, of this world. It's something that I want to say that is something that you thought about that will assist us to be more informed about what's happening. Before I go into the BBI issue, when you told me about that I'll be joining this thing, what came in my head was that I want to thank President Kibaki for the 2010 constitution that has been able to give us freedom to be able to express ourselves freely without fear of any security apparatus or without fear of being arrested. So I want to thank President Kibaki for that. And I also want to thank President Kibaki for the kind of leadership that he showed for 10 years, that the people are given freedom to express themselves. And that's what we are doing from the US, and that's what I'm doing from around. That's what I want to...
Thank you very much for reminding us. Sometimes we take this freedom for granted. And and I know, Mr. Abaga, you have lived in all of the regimes and you have known how they have been suppressing the freedom of press.
Yeah, I will say I'm not that young because this morning I was remembering that 1978 when President Kenyatta died. I was 10 years old, but very well informed. I served and I know what it meant about the expression. We could not discuss about the constitution if it was during Moi's time.
Yeah,
that's why the 2010 constitution is something that is a milestone to our lives.
That we should cherish about,
and we should cherish about it. Remember, we had on a KBC. When I came to the US, we had on a KBC. Now we have this station in US from the US. We have several stations around here, and everybody is expressing himself. So let me say that we are very, very thankful to President Kibaki, and we hope other presidents who will follow President Kibaki can give us this opportunity. Now let me come to the ruling of the 5 judges.
Yeah.
As Amaya said, I'm not a lawyer, but a constitution during the ruling of the 5 judges, each of us became an expert on the law because he used a very soft language, layman's language. They explained everything to us. They explained what the president had done wrong and what the right had done wrong. They explained to us about who should come up with the idea of changing the constitution. And I want to tell you, Mr. Joas and Mr. Menya, I do not know. This is what I want to tell you. And I'm sorry to this. One day, we were in Deputy President's office, Deputy President Dr. William Ruto. And this is what he told us. He If we had known that BBI was about change of constitution, we should have chosen people who are competent about the constitution.
Yeah.
With the Jubilee gave people like Yusuf Haji, former PC, Resomo from Samburu, Matundra from PC. We knew that BBI was about peace, conflict resolution. It was not about the constitution.
Okay.
The only person who knew it was about the change of constitution was Raila. That's why he brought Wako and other experts. So the more Kibaki, Uhuru and Ruto did not know that the BBI was about change of constitution. BBI was about building bridges, conflicts between Kipsigis, conflicts between Kis and Kipsigis, conflict in Northeastern. So BBI from its start was not about constitutional change. It was about peace building.
Okay.
So I would say that they got it wrong. In the process of bringing peace, they decided to go for the constitutional change. That's the point I wanted to remind Amenya and you, that BBI was not about constitution.
Okay.
It was about peace.
So you agree with the reason that the High Court judges really interpreted the law and found it null and void.
For a man who did theory and history in the university, and I took the 5 hours to listen to the judges, I was quite impressed about it without being biased. I was quite impressed with whatever they were talking about. I'm not an expert about the law, and we have been listening to Wananchi in the streets. Nobody understands. From onset, they were saying that we don't open that paper about the BBI, about the constitution change. They never allowed people. It was between two people.
Okay.
So I agree with the judges, and I'm very sure, not very sure, but I'm very sure that the Court of Appeal will go according to the High Court ruling.
Okay.
They will not go against it.
Okay. Mr. Amenya, what do you have to say about that?
First and foremost, I thank you so much. I'm happy to see my brother Abaga all the way from Kenya, and I'm very happy to hear that the show is doing well on the ground. Thank you, Dr. again. What I can add, actually, Abaga has just given very good information, some insight of this, that BBI was about to bring peace, of which I really doubt if it has achieved it, because I still feel that there's some time here, it replaced something. It brought somebody in and put somebody out. So it's kind of like it didn't bring a unit which we expected. Okay. But again, if you got the judgment of 5-page judges, it's simple to say that within the BBI, what they found, some clauses there, they were illegal. So they just find illegality and the fraud in the whole process of amending the constitution. That's what it. The process was not the right one, and also there's some things which were not right between that's why illegal. So, for example, let's go over what the famous now Article 257, which is talking about the referendum. Yeah. The referendum has to be sponsored by a private citizen, and it goes down says very clearly that the president or the state officer cannot initiate the referendum. So where the president is a state officer, and you see, there's no way at night, because he went ahead and gazetted the secretariat. You know, he went ahead, used public funds to finance the BPI secretariat. So, you know, totally, if you compare it with what we saw from the third party alliance, I mean, the one of Dr. Uhuru, which was purely instilled by privately funded, it's totally different. You can see a variance, a big variance. So again, and I'm supporting, as our brother said from Kenya, Abaga, that this thing was a failure from the beginning.
Okay, thank you very much. Now there was this. What is this article? I think one of the declaration was that president does not have authority under constitution to initiate changes to the constitution, and that a constitutional amendment can only be initiated by parliament or a popular initiative. Mr. Abaga, tell us about these two initiatives that we are allowed, where the process of changing the constitution and how the president is not supposed to come in?
My friend Daktari, I lived in the US for 7 years. You have lived in America for all these years.
Yeah.
America is able to operate easily because of the respect of institutions.
Yeah.
Because the president respects the law. A country is supposed to be run by following the law and following the constitution.
Yeah.
The country is able to be run because the executive knows what it's supposed to do. The judiciary knows what it's supposed to do. The Congress and the Parliament and the National Assembly know what to do, and the citizens know what their right. So when the president interferes on what's supposed to be done by the citizens, ordinary citizens, it's like President Uhuru does not know his boundaries, does not know that he's a president who should not interfere, who should not do what Wananchi are supposed to do. President Uhuru, from the kind of ruling, gives himself, they say like in America, they say you cannot, even in Kenya, they say you cannot be taken to court when you are a president. Whatever President Uhuru has done to initiate that he's the one to change the law, which is supposed to be done by common money, gives us a problem to understand when do you know that President Uhuru is a president, and when does he become a Mwananchi when it's about on the constitution? Does he become an ordinary citizen when it becomes the change of the constitution? That gives us, that's what gives us a problem to one. That's why I agree with the judges that they interpreted the law because President Uhuru does not want to follow the law, does not want to respect institutions. Let me just give you an example that I know you know. Italy is able to change prime ministers every 3 times a year. They can change prime ministers as they wish. But because they respect, there are institutions in Italy that run. There is a respect, there is a boundaries between the executive, the judiciary, and the parliament. The country is able to run. So I will argue that what the judges interpreted that in President Uhuru broke the law or did not follow it was unconstitutional for him to initiate. It's common sense. You don't need to be a lawyer to understand that he did something that was wrong. I don't know whether I've answered you well, but I want to talk like a layman. That from just looking at things like a layman, it just automatically tells you that the president did not do the right thing. It was wrong from onset. Today, because he has decided to be a Mwananchi, anybody can take him to court because he wants to be a Wanjiku.
Okay.
Yeah. So I agree with the judge that it was not supposed to be. We should understand what is presidents. Uhuru does not understand what is presidents, but the court understands. It has explained to him, you are a president. Just by telling him, by the ruling, it's now knows that he's a president. He did not know that he was a president. He was acting like a common man.
Okay, thank you very much. Mr. Menya, what is your take on that issue? Do you have a comment on the president starting the process?
Yeah, I think I said it earlier. I mean, for the sake of viewers, I want them to understand as well.
Yeah.
The BPI itself, the way it is, for sure it has good contents and there are some contents which are questionable.
Yeah.
I don't want us to feel like we are condemning that the BPI as the thing is something which is wrong. BPI has got some good information inside there which was supposed to be developed, synthesized in the best way, and try to resonate well with the voters and the public.
Yeah.
Now, what we are talking about here is about the president going beyond the boundaries, and that's why the church says the president, for one, failed to uphold the constitution which he swear to protect. At the same time, by reading some articles, therefore is liable for civil or whatever to be sued by any private citizen. You see this guy, for the last few guys, there's a guy, Moraro Moke. He's trying to sue the president that this guy spent parking money without the support, so he should be liable to pay back that money to the public coffers. So that's why we're saying the PPR has some good things for us and some things we are not clear. But the point is the process which was they failed from the beginning.
Okay.
Daktari,
Yes.
before Amenya gets out of that, I want Amenya to tell me the good things in the BBI, because there's nothing wrong with our constitution. What the constitution, the Kenyan 2010 constitution, has everything. What is new that the BBI is bringing us? What's new? Tell me,
I was trying to answer you, my brother, and I said very well.
Tell me
There
two
are
things
some
that
good
about
things.
the BBI. I'm not against the BBI. Amenya, listen to me. There's that
Yes.
tendency in the streets that everybody's talking that there's something good about the BBI. There are good things about the BBI. If you say there's something about this good about a particular building or a particular university, tell us what was wrong with the last constitution. What was wrong with 20 constitution? What's wrong with the 2010 constitution?
Okay.
Tell me something. Okay, I want to listen.
Yeah.
I want to tell you only one thing, and if you heard my statement, I said there's a few things that we are good, which were supposed to be looked and synthesized well to resonate to the public. Let me tell you one thing. This issue, like the one they brought about the World Development Fund, I like that idea. It's a good one. But the only problem it has is the World Development Fund is going to be a percentage based on the collection or the revenue of a particular county. You see the point? So, which means the richest county still their awards will keep on developing well than the poor counties. So, if it was to be synthesized in a way and be reframed in the best way, that the World Development Funds comes from exchequer like CDF. You get the point? Now, that things will be wonderful because the MCA will get about 30, 40 millions. I mean, to subsidize to CDF, I think the government will have been much better. So that's what I'm saying. There are a few things, but they want to be reframed and be synthesized in a way which will resonate well to the public. So that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying people they were good, but there's some factor and some expertise in trying to be analyzed. That's what I'm saying, Brother Abaga. Have I tried to answer something?
Brother Menya, I have a lot of respect for you.
Thank you.
But let me ask. Let's walk with you. Let's have a journey with you. Do you understand the word? Do you understand the word minimum and maximum? Minimum and maximum. The current constitution. Listen to me. I gave you a chance. I gave you a chance, Amenya. Give me a chance.
Yes, go ahead.
The current constitution says that the counties will get minimum 15%. It does not give maximum. Minimum means you can be given minimum 15%, but maximum can be 35%, maximum can be 50%. Have we been able to get that maximum? Even the 15%. As we are talking today, counties have not paid salaries. Counties cannot run. We cannot even get the 15%. So there's nothing that is new. Minimum means they can give us 15%, they can give us 35%, they can give us 40%. So I don't know what's new about that there will be development to the counties. The same month that is 15% when it's given to the counties are supposed to take them to the wards. What counties are developing wards. So what's new? What's new in that BBI?
Okay.
I think Brother Abba can go with that. I'll try to explain myself well.
Explain.
Joe, Dr. Joe, what you are talking about is the what goes to the. Are you done?
Okay.
Amenya. Here, we are not clear. Let me try to explain this. We are talking two things which are not the same thing. What I'm talking is not what Brother Joe is talking. The power up the 15% to 30% which goes to the county.
No. Mr. Waga, let Amenya talk first. Let Amenya finish.
The money which goes from the exchequer to the county, the way it is with the 2010 constitution, I have no problem about it. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about there's something which was introduced in the BPI about the World Development Fund, which is equal to Constituency Development Fund. So that's what I'm talking. If you look at it well, the way it is at BPI is saying that the money which goes to specific wards, it will be part of the county revenue, not for the money which comes from exchequer to the county.
Thank you. Gentlemen, I don't want us to sidetrack our purpose here. We are looking at the BBI ruling and the war between the judiciary and the executive. Now, the question I want to ask you, President Uhuru did not appoint the judges, the 41 judges who were recommended 2 years ago. But now, he selected and appointed 34, left 6 out. Among the 6, 2 of them were the people who passed the ruling, the judges who passed this ruling. Do you think President Uhuru was doing it as a revenge? Mr. Amenya.
Thank you again, Dr. Josh, for that question. Actually, when I saw that clip, even the way they were sure the judges were being sworn in, somebody can say, yeah, it was revenge. That one is the first perception which comes, and a very, very bad and a very strict revenge. You see, there's no way you can tell me or you can convince somebody that among the 5 judges in the bench, 2 of them, they were not suitable. And these are the people who have been all over one of the best judges. And I think, on my own opinion, again, we have advised the president to do that. I think it's not the best thing. That's my own opinion. And I think it's the worst of it.
Okay.
The way I say worst of it, number one, is even trying to caution or to warn the appellate court, but also remember these guys, they went to the same school of law. You asked the other day, Madam J. Mother Come saying they were in the same class with the other judges who was the former president of the Court of Appeal. So these guys, they used to be in school, and if you go to the history of Dr. Daniel Muzinga, since he was from Kisii High Court, is the man of principles. I normally get in very similar way with this judge, the one of the judges, the one who's in Machakos actually. You see, now he's even telling them that you guys, if you're not gonna honor this, I will come for you. And these guys, they're gonna prove that we are using the law and we are very independent. And that's why I don't see that this guy is gonna go anywhere. This bill case, this case is gonna fail. So from the word go, it looks from straight words that it was a revenge, which was not well informed, and I don't think why he did it anyway.
Okay, thank you, Joe. What do you think? Was he revenging?
Dr. Kari, I'll say something like this. A country is not ruled by an individual. A country is ruled by advisors. A country is ruled by a leader surrounds himself with the right people to advise him on the right thing to do. When you read about the 4 judges, and some of us who are within the country, and some of us who know people like Mujerula and others, and I don't want to name names, they have some questions behind their rulings and their past, what they have done in the past. But I will say, and I want to blame the Attorney General, I want to blame the Solicitor General, I want to blame the advisors of the President, and I want 50% to blame the President, that he was not advised well. If he wanted to revenge, this was not the right time to do it. You cannot do something like this when there's a case going on. But it's like scaring the judiciary that if you don't do the right thing, you will have the same vet like what the 4 judges are having. So I will blame that. What I don't know what to say. I miss some words to use. That Uhuru is behaving like Trump. Uhuru is behaving like Magufuli in Tanzania. Since Magufuli left Tanzania, the country is running so smoothly. You cannot run a country by your emotions. You cannot run even a family. You cannot even run an institution even an hotel, even a McDonald's by emotions. You should run a McDonald's by the advice that you get. If you make this decision at this time, that will be wrong. Do this decision at the right time. So he made this decision at the wrong time. See what he did. Look at his speech in Kisumu. He talked about judiciary. The president should be told that when a case is in court, it's just common sense. Don't mention a case that is in court at that time. So wholeheartedly, I blame the advisors of the president and the president himself that whatever he did was wrong, whether it was revenge or no revenge, whether those 4 judges have questions behind their past judgments, that was wrong. But I want to say, those some of us who love this country, by what he has done, maybe he has given the judges a different way of doing things, the appeal judges. That can be a positive thing to the Kenyans. That's what I'll say.
Okay.
I hope I'm
Now,
explaining myself.
on top of that, the question I want to ask is, did the president overstep his boundaries? Does he have powers to reject what the Judicial Service Commission has recommended? Does he have that, Mr. Joe? What can you say about that?
I'm not a lawyer, but from what we have been seeing in the social media, in Kenyan media, in Kenyan newspapers, plus the TV, plus how the law has been interpreted, he's not supposed to reject. He should have taken the whole number.
Okay.
He should have taken 4 of them. So he has gone against the law. But that's not something that is a surprise to anybody in this country. This President Uhuru plus his people have been going against the court rules. They have even refused any ruling that is done in court, they don't follow. So it's not something new. That is kind of a leadership that all along, he does not respect the court orders. So Uhuru does not respect the court. If he doesn't respect the court, and then what can we do? Can he change at the last minute? He has only 12 months to go. For the last 8 years and a half, he has not been respecting any court orders. That's the nature of his leadership.
Okay, Ms. Amenya, what do you have to comment about that?
I think I have to agree with Brother Sagero with Niwa. He went overboard of his mandate as per what actually we have gone through. These things are making us be scholars of law when we go to school. And we have tried to follow some few things. They're saying something which comes from JEC. It's not, this person have been defeated, have been questioned. So he's supposed to take the whole team as it is. And again, that's why I think, if I'm not wrong, I saw in one of the local newspaper, the Kenyan newspaper, the judges already have gone to court compelling the president to reappoint the judges which were not, because the judges feel like he went overboard. But now the question is, and I believe they're gonna get an order for the president to reinstate or to reappoint these judges. But now the question is the president gonna honor this, because he is now known, or he has been, let's say, stereotyped, if we cannot say so, that is somebody who doesn't honor the court orders.
Okay. So the question is now, what is the way forward for Kenya? The BBI is dead. It's going to the Court of Appeal. And what do you expect the Court of Appeal to do, Mr. Sagero?
Daktari, I can see there's somebody there, Jared Onyanja, and you have not given it.
No, he's trying to come in, but his network. Mr. Onyanja. Hello, he has been trying, but anytime goes out. So, hello? Yeah, I think he has internet issues. So,
Daktari.
Yeah.
In my opening remarks, I remember I thanked you for starting such a TV and such a discussion, it's quite something that is mind-boggling. I don't know whether I'm one man who never discusses the BBI with anybody. I listen. I take matatus. I sit in the hotels. I sit in restaurants. I go to political meetings. I sit all over and I listen to people talking about BBI. Do you know I'm telling you that? At the moment, BBI is not our priority. There are other things in this country that we need to talk about.
Okay.
This country, a former assistant minister from Somalia, Mzee Haji Idris, who is a good friend of mine. I wish you met him at the Intercon one day.
Oh yeah. I think. How is he doing, by the way? He's a nice man.
Yeah, he told me this. A few days he told me this. This country of yours is going to be the Chris way.
Mm,
You are borrowed so much. Your money is going to have any meaning on the whole world.
mm,
That should be the worry of Uhuru. That
mm,
should be the worry of Raila.
mm,
That should be the worry of Parliament, the National Assembly. The worry of this country, the worry, what I'm saying is that we should be worried where are we heading to. It's not about the BBI. How can
mm.
we improve this economy?
Okay.
One man that I like, there's a man I like so much, Indira Gandhi, father of India country.
Mm,
He said that a leader is known by the fruits of his actions.
mm,
If he's able to change the people, the citizenry, is he able to improve the lives of the people that he's ruling?
mm,
We should always be patriotic of our country as a citizen, as a president, as a leader. I
mm,
wish Uhuru could be patriotic to this country, and I
mm.
agree that the BBI is not working.
Okay.
A leader should be known by his integrity and take responsibility and say,
Mm.
I've gone wrong.
Yeah.
Some countries resign on
Mm,
simple issues. Some countries, a minister of transport will resign by an
mm.
accident of a train that has killed 2 people.
Yeah.
Kaida, there's a country where a minister of transport was not involved in an accident, but an accident happens in a particular village, and he resigns. That it's my responsibility. The train
Mm,
has got an accident. People have died. 2 people have died, and he resigns. And you take
mm,
responsibility. Nyerere said, as a leader,
mm.
accept that I failed.
Okay.
Let Raila and Uhuru accept that BBI has failed.
Mm.
Let's move away from BBI.
Okay.
If
Thank
the
you.
case, if the case is on the case ends on 2nd July.
Mm,
There will be no enough 12 months for the referendum.
mm,
Raila and Uhuru should agree that this thing cannot work. Let's
mm,
move to other agendas. Let's move
mm,
out to other agendas of this country. That's our way forward. Is that let Uhuru accept the responsibility and say this thing is not working. We have
mm,
failed this country, me and Raila, and we move forward.
Okay.
That's
Thank you very much.
my.
Let's see if we can hear Jared Yonyanja. Jared.
Yes, Secretary. How are you?
Good. I see you have been struggling with the network, but we can hear you now.
Sure. It has been troubling me for some time now, looking for it in the house, wherever I was.
Yeah.
But for now, I think I'm getting you clear.
Yeah, so we wanted to have your view. I think you know the agenda. We are talking about the BBI saga, and we were in a situation where we were discussing about President Uhuru Kenyatta. Do you think it was right not to accept accept the 6 judges to the Court of Appeal?
Thank you so much, Dr. First of all, let me say hello to my brother Menya there and brother Joe Abaga.
Mm.
Thank you.
Yeah, going to the matter straight is that the president having the mandate to either accept or reject the 6 judges, we can say that maybe to him, he did it now according to the threshold which was given. Maybe the 6 judges never passed through the benchmark which was put for them to get to the next level, to the Court of Appeal, that is to say. So I think for the president was given the list to accept or reject according to the threshold which was given. So for the president, he did his role, which I can say it is justifiable. Let us not bring about politics like he rejected a few of them because they maybe worked down the BBI. No, it was his mandate according to the benchmark which was given.
Mr. Onyanja, do you really know that that was, did he have the powers to the Constitution?
The law does not allow.
Is he supposed to reject or accept, or is what he has been recommended is just honored to put a signature?
Also, as an executive, he has an oversight role to see the people who can measure in the job. So for him, it was playing a role of making sure that the people who fit the job are the one who get the job. So it is the role of those ones who are nominated or who gave the list to go back and make and look for the other fellows who can work for the job.
Mr. Saga, what do you have to say?
I have a question for Jared. Brother Jared, welcome. Was the timing the right time? He could have maybe, according to you, which I don't agree with you, because he has no mandate to go against the judiciary services, what they have given him. And I agree with you that they were not meeting the threshold. I said it earlier. But what about the timing? How do you reject them? How do you swear in people when there's a case in court? I'm asking about the timing. Was it not political timing?
Jared, that's a direct question from Abaga to you.
The
Hello?
timing.
Jared.
You have lost him?
No, is hello, Jared?
I think the network is gone.
I think the network is gone.
But let me do a quick follow up to Jared and probably what Brother Sagira asked him.
Yeah.
Again, for the sake of viewers, I think from where the point I am, I understand the JSZ, the Judicial Service Commission, has got the presidential representatives. For one, I think one Professor Mugandi, I don't know Mugandi, is a presidential appointee to that commission. I think the Attorney General is part of the commission. Am I right? I guess.
Yeah.
So these are the advisors to the president. So if there was issues, they would be raised during the vetting.
Exactly. I think so.
So I don't see somebody will come to say that in between this time, that's when these guys have just become tinted. You get the point? So I believe the president, the way they says, whenever he gets a name from a JSC, he's supposed to appoint. That's put your signature. So
exactly.
That's what I was trying to explain. I wish of our brother Jared was there. So this thing was way beyond. It was late anyway to do it.
Okay, Awaga, you want to say something?
Yes, I want to support Brother Menya.
Yeah.
And you remember I talked about institutions. If there's a respect of institutions, if the president cannot accept what the judiciary services has given him, and then he goes against what they have advised him, the right thing he could have done, he could have taken back all those names, tell the judiciary services, I need other names so that they are 40. So the president does not respect institutions. Even a small institution like the one he has appointed himself. He does not trust anybody. He trusts himself. He does not even trust Muganda. Remember that, and that this one, I don't know whether Menya knows or you know this, that are out of 9 members of the Judicial Service Commission, 7 of them are from Central Kenya.
Yeah, after that, I know that. Yep.
Yeah, 7 of them are from Central Kenya. Where is this country going to?
Exactly.
We can't. There's no better representation in those institutions. After even interfering about the appointment of those members of those institutions, he goes further and he goes against them. Jared, are you back?
Jared, but I think he has network issue. He can't even hear.
Okay,
hey, Jared, can you talk?
No, I think he has a problem with the network.
Yeah.
I think there's 2 things I want to talk for, which Brother Sagira said for sure. Even during the vetting of the Chief Justice, when I came to realize is that most of these guys are from Mount Kenya.
Yeah, it was a foregone case. It was like they had arranged.
Actually, the question which brings in my mind is, was this by design or was it by coincidence? Sometimes
even Justice Ouko, when he went back to be interviewed for the other post, he told them that tribalism is even right here in this committee. And I was surprised they chose him.
He said that.
He told them you are.
So, and again, that's where now I get, when you look at things like that one, and then you go in, you get that the ombudsman is going to be a presidential appointee. Actually, this is the way the executive is supposed to take over the judiciary. So if I go back, I think there's some remarks Brother Seguro made. Also, I want to put some inputs about the future of BPI. From where I stand, I don't see things going anywhere, for sure. Let's assume they are saying the judgment is going to be done the case is going to be ending between let's say 2nd of July, and then the judgment it might take like 2-3 weeks to prepare judgment, and then from there, let's assume at least the litigant is not going to be satisfied. Then whichever the other going to come or whoever not responded, and then they're gonna go again to final court, the Supreme Court. Also they're gonna take time, and then and you see, we're gonna go to August. And if I'm not wrong, there's a clause in our current constitution saying that an amendment of the constitution must be done not a year towards the second election. So if we're gonna be August 2021 without doing this referendum, so I don't think it happened, because we're gonna be less than a year to August 2022. Number two, even if this referendum was to be passed from the first thing the way it was, there's still some things which I didn't see them happening, because like the 7th constituents, these guys, they came up, they're saying that we want to get the 7th constituents, A and B is going to be divided, but who's going to do the boundaries? What time they had to do the boundaries? Because you can't say that South Mogrango is going to be 2 constituents. Where they want to start and end where? So this is the work of IBC. So still, they got it wrong in many ways, which I couldn't figure it out myself how it's going to work out.
Okay.
Okay.
Our time is.
1 minute, please, Dr. I want to agree with Brother Sageo that BPI is not any priority to our people.
Thank you.
Particularly this crisis of
Josh.
is not any priority.
Yes.
Josh.
So, if we see all this
let Jamenya finish first.
all this money which are used in the referendum, and people are missing vaccines and all that, so you wonder where they go. You wonder how many of our students who cannot afford school fees, which money could have gone to like grants and all that. So for sure, PPI was not, it was not a priority at this time, but it's our country. Until that time we come to realize what our people needs, that's when we will build it better in the best way.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Waga.
There's something I wanted to tell you that as old as I am, there's one thing that my father once told me: in life, don't trust another human being. Why I'm using this philosophy, I wonder between Raila and Uhuru, who is playing the other one. Because the truth means, is Raila honest to Uhuru? Does Uhuru want BBI? Does Raila want BBI? Or is just a game of thinking about 2022? Is Raila in this game because he wants BBI, he wants a constitution change, or is in this game so that he gets support from Mount Kenya? Or Uhuru is in BBI and change of constitution so that he can finish his term as a president peacefully. And another thing that you should know, and this is a point of information, Uhuru and the Kenyatta family have taken over businesses in this country. You remember when he took over power 2017, Raila told people not to buy things from Brookside, milk from Brookside. But as we are talking today, Uhuru owns Quickmart. Uhuru has taken over all petrol stations, Kenol and others, and now they have rupees. So it could be a convenience way of doing things. Convenience for Uhuru to do business, convenience for Uhuru to finish his term of 10 years, convenience for Raila so that he gets votes from Central Kenya, with the hope of getting votes from Central Kenya. This game about BBI, by the way, is like a baby child play. That's what I think, and that's what I want to conclude. That don't trust another human being. When you are dealing with another human being, ask yourself, why am I in this game?
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I want to thank you, gentlemen, for your insight and your knowledge on this. And we would want to finish here. And in the future, then we can also join. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. I appreciate it. Thank you for